Good afternoon, this is Adam Alarakhia from Communication Workers Union. I'm here in Brighton for the Trade Union Congress as a delegate. We will be discussing and debating motions here, and I want to tell you how important Trade Union Congress is. So let's have a look inside and see what's going on.
As you know, we were set up by the TUC in 1899, and this is our 125th anniversary year.
Wow.
So it's important for us to have a presence, and for us, because we don't have members, we have affiliated unions like CWU. It's important that those unions can see that we're here, we're part of the fabric of the left. So this is the programme for the coming year. And there's loads of really interesting courses in there. If people wanted to see it, it's available online as well. And the other thing is we've relaunched Federation News, which is this newsletter.
Brilliant.
We did it up until about 10 years ago and then stopped because there just wasn't the demand. But because people now, with the new Labour government, with more and more people getting involved in making a difference, some resurgence of trade unionism, we're finding that it's gone down really well. So this is its first reissue.
Brilliant.
So yeah, it's good.
I'll have a copy of that as well. Thank you very much for that.
Amnesty is the world's largest human rights organisation, and trade unions have always been one of the key parts of what we do. And one of the first ever cases that Amnesty worked on was that of a trade unionist who represented workers on ships in the shipping industry and who was imprisoned by Franco's regime simply for raising a toast to workers' rights. Trade unions are also some of the world's biggest human rights organisations. They stand up for ordinary working people. So it's always been really important to us to have a relationship, to work together for workers' rights. And we also know that trade unions are organisations that protect all sorts of human rights. They rely on freedom of assembly, freedom of expression. They underpin our economic rights as well. So yeah, we have a thriving trade union network. Almost all of the TUC affiliated unions are affiliated to Amnesty International, which is great. They give us financial support for what we do, campaigning support, especially around countries where unfortunately trade unionists are still sometimes locked up for the work they do.
I support activists that work on country-specific campaigns. One of the reasons we come to TUC is trade unions are great international solidarity too. We just think keeping that relationship going strong is one of the most important things for international solidarity, but also solidarity between organisations in the UK with similar goals.
As you can see, there's quite a lot going on at the moment here. We've got so many stalls here. We've got hundreds of people at the Congress. Not been able to speak to everyone, but we managed to speak to a couple of people. And I've got this new delegate called Josh, who's actually joined us for a quick interview.
First time delegate here at the TUC conference, which has been so far a really great experience for me. From somebody who's sort of been in the union for sort of 8 years or so now, and then sort of 2 years heavily involved with my branch and the national side of things. This is a real eye-opener, and the networking opportunities that I've been able to have since being here have just been sort of incredible. Just even being in the same sort of hotel and you're seeing all these politicians and big trade union leaders that you only normally see on TV. So it's like, wow, okay. It feels very real when you're here. And yeah, it's an experience, that's for sure.
Any specific highlights about the conference? I know you did speak on one of the motions as well earlier on, but anything specific highlights which you want to share with us, please? Yeah,
I think I've got a couple. I think one of the main ones was the talk of the New Deal for Workers, and having our own General Secretary Dave Ward and Mick Lynch and Sharon Graham of Unite as well. Having these big powerful trade union leaders sort of had the audience sort of captivated in the room, and you could feel the energy from the TUC audience here of our need and our sort of our call to action for that New Deal, and putting that pressure on the Labour government to make sure that this act does come in the first, in that it's one of their first set policies that will really help workers. So I think that was one of my sort of big favourites of the day. I do have another one, obviously speaking as well, was a sort of a real honour and an opportunity to be able to speak to the TUC on behalf of our membership and the wider trade union membership in regards to climate change and workers' health. Was a real positive for me that'll live long in the memory.
Brilliant. So, thank you very much for that. Just a final point on, so if there is anyone who wants to come along and they're a bit hesitant and they're feeling a bit embarrassed or shy to come along to Trade Union Congress or any other conferences which we hold, what would be your advice for them who are a bit hesitant to come along? Yeah,
it's a good question, because I think everybody does, even myself. I'm generally a very confident person, and even today I was nervous speaking in front of so many people, but I would say, look, if you don't try, you'll never know, and I think it's good to get stuck in. You know, everyone can make a silly look at themselves sometimes, but no one's laughing at you. At the end of the day, you've given it a go, you've come to try, and it's an experience that you'll only learn from, and everyone here is learning, no matter how long they've been here or whatever they've done. Everybody's here for the same common goal, and I think that's what should be remembered.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Josh. Really appreciate your time.
Cheers, Adam. Thank you very much, as ever.
So for the audience, this is been a quick chat with Josh. We've had a chat with Josh with regards to his own experience. So as you can see, Josh is a first-time delegate, but it's very clear now that it's not that difficult, honestly. If myself and Josh, I'm sure you wouldn't mind me saying this, if we both can do it, then anyone can do it. So please come along and experience the Trade Union Congress in the future. I've had a lovely experience at the Trade Union Congress 2024. I have had great opportunity to speak to people at the stalls. In the actual Congress itself, we've debated quite a lot of motions ranging from terms and conditions, pay rises, universal credit, and various other topics we've discussed. Please tune in for next time and stick with your union.